The day, June 3rd, 2017. The place, a classroom full of high-aiming, tired teens. The occasion, the SAT subject tests. My 3 Ticonderoga pencils and I felt sharp, ready to handle College Board's tricks. The motivational speaker in my head shouted support as I defeated chemistry question after chemistry question. Heck yeah, you can balance that. Are you exothermic? 'Cause you're on fire. These questions are as easy as reacting fluorine with, well, anything. Feeling confident, I read the next question. What metal used in galvanizing steel is also a main component of brass? I stared at the question. The question stared back. We stared at each other. And I blinked. It's okay, Emma, you can come back to that one, the voice said, ever an optimist. I continued, answering the last page and a half of questions, assuredly. Unfortunately, they held no serendipitous hints. I resigned and flipped the page back, the sound of the crinkling paper echoing through the room. The question stared at me. I stared back. Why did it have to be brass? I had it narrowed down to 2 options. The answer was either aluminum or zinc. With only a few moments left, I had to choose. I tried to channel the energy of all those who inspired my love of chemistry. My remarkable father, the engineer, who told endless chemistry anecdotes about the storied halls of Berkeley. Mrs. Paris, the energetic honors teacher, who would do jazz squares while yelling, "Random, rapid, constant, straight line motion." And Mrs. Watterson, the thoughtful and kind AP Chem teacher who so apparently loved her subject and her work that her passion diffused into me. With them in my thoughts, I raised my work-dulled pencil and bubbled in letter B. Aluminum. The proctor called time, and after a few minutes of paper shuffling and whispering, I was out of the school, driving home with my 2 neighborhood friends, the future president of Chem Club and the state-honored science Olympian, both of whom were pretty sure aluminum was right. I was still uncertain. When I got home, my father met me at the door, asking how my tests had gone. I quickly briefed him and hurriedly parroted the question. I stared at him. He stared back. And he answered in a clear, confident voice. Zinc. Oh, man, I said, and my father sympathetically winced, reading from my reaction that I had answered differently. That's gotta hurt. Yeah, I replied as I headed up to my room. I put my things away and stared at the salt that was pouring into my now gaping wound, my handmade chart of alloys that has been hanging not 3 feet away from my bed for over 5 years. My dad yelled up, "Didn't you have that written on your wall?" "Yup," I yelled back. Ouch. As horrible as it seemed to fail that question so completely, my life went on. One night I looked up from my pillow at the alloy chart that had been, literally and figuratively, hanging over my head. And the motivational voice in my head spoke, didactically concluding that this was all a good experience for me. Emma, when you made that chart of alloys so many years ago, it was because you knew you had trouble remembering them. Sometimes it's okay to know what you don't know. It's okay for me to be unsure. It's okay for me to have questions and to ask the teachers I respect so much. And if I recognize what I don't know and embrace that uncertainty, I can be confident in myself and my abilities nevertheless. I don't know what the best way to get into college is, or exactly what I'll do when I get there. But I know that wherever I end up, I will work to make it great.